Aikido is not a sport or a game. There are no competitions, no tournaments, a method for personal development. Aikido is distinguished from other martial arts by its highly developed code. Its practitioners are taught the secrets of balance and character, which find their way into all aspects of life.
In the old martial arts, the idea was to kill or maim the other person as quickly as possible. That was it. In modern times, again, O-sensei realized that violence was a terrible thing, and that we should transcend that and get beyond that. So the idea there is that we hold ourselves to a higher moral and ethical standard than the person who's trying to attack us. We are one of the oldest Aikido schools in the Southeast, and this building is actually on the National Register of Historic Places. I'm the chief instructor. I hold the rank of 6th degree black belt. I also have the title of Shihan, which is basically teacher of teachers. Aikido is a very traditional Japanese martial art. It's the only purely defensive martial art to come out of Japan. The word Aikido translates as the way of blending energy. Ai is blending or harmony, Ki is energy or spirit, and Do is the way or a path. So it's the way of blending energy.
Chief Instructor George Kennedy explains Aikido.
Aikido differs from the other martial arts in that it's not a sport or a game. There's no competition. The idea in Aikido is to blend your energy with the energy of the attack and overcome the person by using their own aggression.
For many years, Aikido was practiced in secret.
The techniques of Aikido go back to the samurai era. Some of these techniques have been traced back to the 12th century. Modern Aikido was developed by Sensei Morihei Ueshiba. He founded modern Aikido based on these traditional arts starting around the turn of the century up through the 1920s and 30s. And modern Aikido came into being after World War II. Sensei's art was a secret art prior to that time, like most martial arts in Japan. It was not something that was open to the general public, so it wasn't until the 1950s and late 1950s and early 1960s that Aikido was made public or available to the public. In those days, it was not uncommon for one school to challenge another school or for someone to try to prove that their technique was better than your technique, and that usually ended up with someone dead. So you did not want to give away your secrets at that time. My instructor, who was a direct student of the founder, Yamada Sensei, says, "You have to steal my technique." They don't give away the technique. Obviously, Aikido is open to the public now, so it's not, we don't have those kinds of restrictions.
Because Aikido uses evasive methods and uses the attacker's own force to throw or subdue him, it is considered the only purely defensive martial art.
So Aikido is purely defensive, but it is not passive. We don't allow people, we don't let people attack us or dominate us. So the idea is that whatever that person is putting out there, that's what's going to come back to them. So Aikido is in a way, is instant karma. If they're seriously trying to hurt you, there's a good chance they're going to get seriously hurt themselves. But we have an obligation not to lower ourselves to the level of the bully. Again, it depends very much on what they're trying to do to you. That's another thing that makes Aikido unique. You have a wide range of response options so that the same technique can be applied relatively gently where you can subdue the person, or the same technique with a very minor modification could cause some very serious damage or death.
Sheila has been practicing Aikido for close to 15 years now and describes the benefits it has had for her life.
I started as a grad student, and I got into it because I really wanted to learn some self-defense. I think everybody should know at least a little bit of self-defense. But as I started studying it, I realized that I was getting a lot more out of it than I expected to in other areas, and so I kept it up. It really helps me focus. It's a great stress reliever, and it's helped me to stay calm under pressure.
When we're training with each other, as you saw in the class, we're not actually looking to really hurt each other, So I think one of the best things about it is that there's an authentic amount of risk for you to learn from it, but you can trust your partner enough to know that they have no ill intent, And that means a lot to me for my training.
For most of the students we spoke with, Aikido has become much more than just a way to stay active. It has become a part of them.
I think about Aikido like brushing my teeth every day. I don't think about the sport, the spiritual, the martial art. I think it's part of me. It's just every day I'm thinking about Aikido. I do Aikido when I walk, when I drive, I always thinking about it.
The favorite part of the class is just, I don't know, it starts when you walk in the door. And I don't know, I guess I'm always ready to come back to class. Every single time I get here, this is a special place for me, certain things just can't even come into this room, But it also has become something that I take with me everywhere else that I've gone, There's lessons that you can learn from training in this art. Ultimately, I've kind of thought about this a lot, and I feel like every single time we train, the main goal of it is that we are trying to cultivate intentional responses instead of allowing involuntary reaction. And that, to me, is probably one of the most essential things to learn.
My favorite part is taking a kemi, and that's the falls. It's the closest thing to flying that I've ever gotten to do. And I didn't realize how much fun that was going to be when I started Aikido. I've seen people, doing Aikido from little 5-year-olds all the way up to, people old enough to be my great-grandfather. And I think they've all enjoyed it, and everybody can get something out of it. One of the things that I really love about Aikido, especially in this dojo, is that everyone's considerate of everyone else's limitations. And so I was able to practice while I was pregnant, both times, until, say, about a month before the baby was born, just at, different levels.
I've been honored to be able to teach the 5 to 7-year-olds here, and it's amazing to see that they can, experience what a roll feels like, or to understand concepts like get off the line of attack and you don't have to hit to be strong. It's just, I wish that everybody would get to grow up knowing those things, and I feel really honored that it's part of my life and my family's life.
Though mainly physical, Aikido does have a connection to the spiritual.
There's a spiritual dimension to the art. You're training your mind, your body, and your spirit, but it is not a religion. We have people of all different faiths that practice here. It's probably one of the few places in the world you can see Jewish people and Muslim people practicing and laughing and enjoying themselves together. So it's a very open-minded path or way. We have at least 2 classes a day, 7 days a week. And basically, if someone's interested, they come into the school. We encourage them to watch a class or 2, talk to the students and the instructors, try a class out for free and see if this is something that they're really interested in doing. At that point, basically we can enroll you and you get on the mat.
If you like to enhance your life with a different point of view of martial arts, I think Aikido is the way to go. It doesn't require much strength, or you don't have to be young or fast, but it requires a long time to learn how to use it. This is the art you want to do. This is not like boxing, this is not like something competition. This is something that is unique for yourself. Every person is different. Your body type is different from other people. So you have to be on the mat, you have to train yourself to understand what you can do. There's no other way, unfortunately.
All right, folks, that's our show for today. If you have a question or a comment, just send us an email at programming@aibtv.com. Until next time, I'm Craig Corbin.